and welcome into Tori's Take Live, presented by Priority Health. I'm Tori Petrie. Another Monday, and we are breaking down another Lions loss today as the Lions extend their losing streak to 6 games. They were already out of the playoff race, while the Vikings are still fighting for their spot, and it was clear who was the better team on Sunday in Minnesota. It was a lackluster performance by the Lions all around. It felt like their best chance to score was their red zone trip in the first half, but instead of finding the end zone, they took a sack on third down and missed the field goal, and then gave up a 44-yard catch that set the Vikings up in perfect position to score again before halftime. Essentially, instead of getting 7 points when they had the chance, they turned back around and gave up 7, and it felt like before halftime the game had pretty much been decided. That Mike Zimmer defense is tough, and it always has been. It's asking a lot to ask a rookie quarterback in his second start ever to face them and do well. David Blough had an amazing game in his Thanksgiving debut, but positive plays in this game were harder to come by. It felt like the Vikings were in the backfield all day, 5 sacks on the day. This Minnesota team has always been able to get after the quarterback. Stafford took 7 sacks against them in 2015, 6 sacks in 2017, and 10 sacks in 2018, his career high. Yesterday, they did the same to Blough. Danielle Hunter's 3 third-down sacks in the first half were a picture of what we've seen from the Lions this year, giving up the big play when they need to make a big one. On the limited bright side of that one, at least it wasn't a shutout. David Blough threw this touchdown pass to Kenny Golladay on a 4th down attempt in the game's final minutes. This score allowed the Lions to avoid getting shut out for the first time since 2009, and at least it showed this team is still fighting. A small consolation after a rough day that left the team and fans feeling a little sullen. After the game, Vikings fans, whose playoff hopes are very much still alive, stuck around in the stadium to watch the end of the playoff-bound 49ers and Saints games on the big screen, and it was a stark reminder of where the Lions are at right now, on the outside looking in. There's still more to come here on Tori's Take Live, including the answer to my question on my Instagram story. Can I find a way to fit a Baby Yoda meme into this show somehow? Stay with us and you'll find out.
Last year, Mark finished last in his fantasy baseball league, so this year he brought his daughter to the draft.
Him?
Smart. Like choosing Priority Health Insurance. It's how smart people access a network that includes 97% of primary care doctors in Michigan.
End zone. Baby, what a catch! Off the football, yes. The Lions have got it! Gonna get hit, gonna get sacked! Oh, this place is on fire now!
This is Mike. He runs one smart tomato farm. These are the fish he feeds that feed the tomatoes. Aquaponics farming? Smart, like choosing Priority Health Insurance. It's how smart people access a network that includes 97% of primary care doctors in Michigan.
Welcome back to Tori's Take Live, presented by Priority Health. It is time for our extra point. Usually I would take you around the league at this point, but this week we are taking it all the way to college football. You guys know I have SEC roots, and even though my Gators didn't make it into the SEC championship, it was still a fun game to watch thanks to LSU, Coach O, and of course, quarterback Joe Burrow. Burrow had this NFL caliber throw in the third quarter, evading pressure. And that's how we tie it back into the NFL, because a lot of Lions fans are thinking about the draft right about now, and this guy is going to be at the top of a lot of draft boards because of throws like that. My favorite commentary on it, though, was from one of my favorite Twitter follows, Mina Kimes, and here is that aforementioned Baby Yoda meme. She says every NFL scout in America watching that last play by Burrow. I had to get Baby Yoda in the show. He's so cute. The Mandalorian is one of my favorite shows to watch right now, and Baby Yoda is really the cutest thing on earth right now, maybe second only to my cat. Of course, we got Baby Yoda in the show. All right, for our question portion of this show today, instead of questions, I actually want to ask you guys a question. Will you join me in bringing a toy to Ford Field this weekend for Toys for Tots at the Lions game against the Bucks? It's a really cool thing that the Lions are doing, joining up with Power Home Solar this week to really provide a really cool opportunity for fans to get involved. All you have to do is bring your toy to the Lions game. There will be places at the Lions gates where you can drop these toys off. And all you have to do is show up with an unwrapped toy, and then you get a Lions ornament in return. And if you aren't going to the game, you can still drop off toys this week at the gates of Ford Field up through Friday. It is a cool and easy way to make a difference this Christmas. All right, we got Christmas vibes and Baby Yoda in the show. I would call that a success. Thanks, guys, so much for joining us on this episode of Tori's Take Live, presented by Priority Health. From Xfinity Studio, I'm Tori Petrie.